Hey, what's up, everybody? It is time for the Kevin and Nikee show on iHeartRadio. You gonna like this flow?
Yeah. It's time for the Kevin and Nikee show. They gon' have it lit up. Yeah, you know, it's time for the Kevin and Nikee show. They got the airways popping every city across the globe. It's time for the Kevin and Nikee show. They gon' have it lit up. Yeah, you know, it's time for the Kevin and Nikee show. They got the airways popping every city across the globe. You know him as a throwback actor, Kevin D. Bitten, 360 twice jam, how he keep winning. And you know the baddest actress, Nikee won. She so bad you walking past, she had you speaking for her. If you ain't tuning in, this your reality check. You might miss out on your favorite star celebrity guest. When they celebrate, what you do, you get the bell, yeah. During Kevin's corner, get expired and encouraged, yeah. Bend them corners while you listen, but don't swerve. Find out what's getting on, Nikee nerd. What's bothering Nikee? What's bothering Nick? What's bothering Nikee? What's bothering Nick? Keep on playing, me and Kevin goes and we gon' get you hit. Yo, check us out on social media. In your mobile phone, we everywhere. You ever stations played out like a ringtone. Follow me like Bino R-E-M-E-Y. Bino Remy, pop like Semi. And my flow hotter, thicker semi. Been doing this since I scraped up pennies. But back to the subject, Kevin Nikee.
All right. It is time for the Kevin and Nikee show on iHeartRadio.
How they say, yes.
Yes. It's Y-A-A-A-A.
It's Y-A-S-S-S-S. Yes. No, you don't say it.
I don't say that. I was just repeating what you said.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
But I don't like it like that. I like yes.
Okay.
That's my whole thing.
I got you.
I love it.
You got your own way.
I got my own way.
Well, look, we back for another exciting edition of the Kevin and Nikee show. It's always a blessing and a good thing to be back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back.
Yeah.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back. Get down again.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Yes.
Get to the chopper now.
Yes.
Run.
I do imitate him so well.
Get down.
Yes.
Get down again. You said, I'll be back. Oh, man. So, look, we back, Nick. We always got a lot to talk about.
Yes.
A lot on the horizon. A lot that we are doing, have already done, and continue to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, with that said, it is now time for the mini adventures of Kevin and Nikee.
Woo! Yes.
Yeah. All right. So look, I'm gonna let you go first.
No, you go.
You gonna go?
You
Okay.
Go you know what? I'm gonna do like this to you.
You gonna pass it? You gonna pass it over?
I'm gonna pass it.
You gonna pass it? Okay. You gonna get an assist?
I'm gonna pass it over.
That's what's up. You gonna get an assist? Okay,
yes,
that's cool.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think I kind of speak for both of us in terms of our adventures.
Yeah.
We had our chance to go spend some time with our New York City family on Friday. It was really, really good. Seeing everybody, man, just people who we've worked with, people who we've bonded with and made friends with. And it was just really, really, really good to just see everybody be around, everybody hug, shake hands, and just gather. And man, so it was just great, man. We always look forward to taking that trip.
Always look forward to
NYC.
taking the trip. We
always look forward to taking that trip to NYC, man. And it was just, and people were coming from all over.
Yes, they were.
From California. Flying in.
Flying in for the premiere
of Keys. Yes, sir.
Love it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we want to give a I love you shout out to Miss Anjanette Pinkston and the whole entire cast and crew.
crew
who worked very, very hard on this project. Yeah.
The whole crew worked very,
very
hard.
hard.
And yeah.
It was good to see Hawthorne there. And Sean McD. He flew in from California. Yeah, Sean McD was there. Yes. Hawthorne James was there from the 5 Heartbeats.
Yes. It never gets old when you go to a premiere and you see yourself up on the big screen. From you checking yourself out.
Yeah.
So I was checking myself out. Right, you know what I mean? Right. I was checking myself out, making sure that I delivered my lines like I was supposed to, making sure I was very believable, because we got a lot of screen time up in this. We did, and we wanted to make sure.
Well, you know what? It's too late. It was kind of too late now because we was already watching it.
I know.
Yeah, but you're right though. It's always a blessing to see yourself on the big screen. It's very, very surreal. To know that everybody in the theater is watching as well. And you're sitting among them, and when there's reactions to your performance and things like that, but you're always watching yourself to critique. And like I said, we're our worst critics because we care about what we do. This is our passion, and we want to continue to grow and develop and get better at it. But it was just a great event, man. And, just really, really good to see everybody and just take pictures and hug and shake hands. It was just great. It was great. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to going back. Yeah. Yes, we're looking forward to going back. Yeah. We're looking forward to going back for another premiere of The Keys and for the premiere of The Right Path. Now, I'm going to let you tell them about the trailer. Listen, you guys, it was a surprise for us. Right. It was a shock because we did not know. When we got there, we're shaking hands, lovey-dovey on everybody because the cast of Keys, we haven't seen them in almost 2 years? About 2 years, yeah. Right? Yeah. We haven't seen them in about 2 years. I'm sorry, I'm eating Twix. Come on, Nick. All right, let me tell them while you finish eating. She can't even get the words out. She's smacking. It's good. I haven't had a Twix in a long time. Right. I'm not sure. I don't think everybody across the world want to hear you eat it. All right, fine. A Twix. So we didn't know. So we're in there and, we're loving on everyone. And the director of The Right Path, AJ Franklin, actually the writer of The Right Path, AJ Franklin, because The Right Path was directed by Quad. But you know what? They both kind of wrote it and directed. Yeah. So it was kind of a collaborative effort. Yeah. He comes up and he says, "Nikki, come here. I got something to tell you." I'm like, "Okay, what's that?" Yeah. He comes out into the hall. He goes, "Guess what?" I says, "What?" He said, "We dropping our trailer today." I'm like, "What?" That's what's up. Man, I went and got Kev. I told him. Kev went over to AJ. They're busting it up. And when I tell you to actually see the trailer come up, and not only that, when the trailer comes up, you got that good shot. Yeah. You know what I mean? That very good shot of yourself up in there. That trailer is dope. You guys got to go to our YouTube pages. You got a good shot. I took a good shot in the jaw, but go ahead. Go to our YouTube page. Kev gets knocked out in the trailer. I get knocked out. And I am holding the Glock in the trailer. It was a Tech 9. No, it wasn't. It was a machine gun? No. It was a Glock? Yeah. Okay. I was holding the Glock. Yeah, you was spraying that. Yeah, I was, your girl here plays a bad girl. So all that grandma, mom, that stuff is out the window. Nikee is holding guns and busting them. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Busting them. She is busting them. Yes. And they captured that shot in the trailer, and I took a screenshot of it and did a Facebook post, and I get knocked out. And you get knocked out. And see, I'm happy about this role because, like you said, Kev, I'm always playing someone's mother. I'm always playing someone's grandmother, a girlfriend, a wife, or whatever. I want to show range. Right. I want to show that I can do other things. So when they made me a female drug dealer, I jumped up on that thing with the quickness. They asked me about my hair. I said, listen, that thing is braided up tomorrow. Right. Braided up my hair, and we got going. Got going. It was good. It was real good. And we had a lot of fun filming this movie. Shout out to our New York City family. Lottie Dottie. Everybody. They know who they are. Yes. And we love them, and we always look forward to taking that trip to Queens, to Brooklyn, wherever they filming, to do movies. We look forward to it. And it's always love. It's everybody's just so hungry and humble. It's just an attitude of like we're here to collaborate and make movie magic. It's just a lot of love and positivity, and that's one of the things I look forward to. In addition to being on set with everybody, but when we get on set, we all business. Like Quaz, AJ, them boys, they mean business. Jay Brickhouse, all them, they mean business. Miss Ann, they mean business when they get on set. And because this is what we do, man. This is not a hobby. This is what we do.
You know, there are some people that you don't mind dropping everything for when they call.
When they need you, you there.
And they are those people.
They are those people. Anytime they need us,
we drop everything and we go.
That's right.
We make room for them because they know that we like versatility in our careers.
Right.
And they know exactly what we're looking for to make our careers better, and they give us just that.
That's it.
So, you know, I love being with them. I love taking that trip. Every time we have to take that trip, I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Other than that, we've been, check out the trailer. Go to The Right Path Movie on Facebook. It's also actress Nikee Warren on her YouTube channel. You could check out, you're going to see me get knocked out. I play a character called Spider, and I'm kind of like the comedic gang member that doesn't fit in. But, so I'm probably going to give you guys a couple laughs. And, when you see me get knocked out, just know I was not hurt in the making of that portion. I have a stunt background. So I know,
stunt man.
I know how to take falls and stuff like that. That's what I do. And Nikee plays a character, Nikee.
Yes. How about that?
Yeah, not too far from her name. You know? So and you might see her pull out some other weapons in the movie, but we're looking forward to the premiere of The Right Path in New York City. AJ Franklin, Quaz, and the New York City family is going to go down.
Yes.
We're looking forward to it. And also, me and Nick just been, we got our callback audition.
Yes, we did.
We went back in there, nailed that.
Yes.
We got the role. And that's always a good thing to get the callback. But then to go into the callback and get the role, that's even better.
That's even better.
So we're happy about that. And we got some up and coming projects with that. We had to sign some papers and some table reads.
Oh my goodness.
And so we had
always the paperwork. Listen, you guys, make sure you carry a pen.
Yeah, carry a pen.
You're as an actor, always have a few pens, highlighters, all that stuff just that you carry.
Yeah.
Because you're always going to be highlighting and signing your name and writing down something.
That's right.
So just make sure you always have that. And a notepad to take notes.
And a driver's license or passport.
Yes.
Especially if you're going to New York City to film, stuff like Billions and Successions and all that stuff, and Gotham and Godfather of Harlem. Make sure you got your driver's license, passport, and an ink pen.
Those are things you always that's in your must-have bag.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So other than that, we were recording some audition videos, and we did. We had to do a interrogation scene, which we were very proud of.
Yes.
And we did a crime scene where it was a homicide.
Yes.
And I'm gonna tell you, we had to film this outside. We had the caution tape.
You know what? I gotta do it.
Go ahead.
I gotta give it to you.
All right.
Let me tell you this. Kev puts, he needs to be a set designer. I'm just going to be honest. He put everything into this crime scene. I mean, he had the tape. He took the duffel bag, took some clothes out of the duffel bag, laid it on the ground, laid the sheet on top of the clothes in the duffel bag, propped the clothes up to make it look like it was an actual person under there. Then took the tape, the crime scene tape, put that around the duffel bag. And when I tell you, gave me my gloves, put the bullets on the ground.
Yeah.
And when I came out, and we started getting into it, people were actually coming out of their houses because they thought that it was somebody got
killed. Yeah, they thought somebody really got killed. Look,
yes.
Let's hurry up film this before the police come.
Yes, we had to say, listen, we are shooting an audition video.
We're shooting a movie.
Okay, everybody calm down. I mean, people were cars were stopping.
Yeah, cars were stopping. People were stopping, asking us what happened here.
Yes,
I mean, it really looked like it was a dead body under the sheet.
He set it up like it really was a dead body under there.
And Nikee had on her detective outfit with her notepad and her rubber gloves.
Yes.
I had the rubber gloves with the camera that you use to take pictures and my detective suit. And it just really goes back to, this is our passion, but you want to be professional.
Yeah.
And so when you submit something, why not it be the best? And I just have a pedigree in me from playing basketball where I just wanted to be a great basketball player. And so I worked at it. You know, I'm competitive, I'm driven, and I want to be connected with the best. I want to be the best, and I want to do the best that I can do. And so we did the interrogation scene. We had like the little lamp over top of the table, the little, kind of like a triangle shaped lamp where it looked kind of dark, but it was just enough light we could see each other's face. So we put a lot of effort into it. We're proud of it. Yes. Hopefully, it'll get us a call back.
Yeah, we're going to play on that.
But here's the thing. If it's just solely based on set design and acting, we should get that daggone. Yes. We should get that because we played our part.
Yes.
We had real looking fake bullet shells.
We did.
Casings.
Actually, because we got those casings
off the set of Guns and Grams.
Guns and Grams. When they were popping them and we were picking them up.
We were picking them up as souvenirs.
Yeah. And lo and behold, we used them for our scenes. Yes.
And you know what? And we tell actors this all the time. Don't be so in a rush to throw stuff away.
That's right.
Whether it's an old pair of sneakers. You never know when you're going to have to play a drug fiend or a drunk or something like that. Or a zombie or something like that. That torn shirt, keep it. I have clothes that, people probably would laugh at me for keeping that are shredded. Hey, if I got to play a zombie, hey, I want to look authentic. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or, like that detective suit or whatever. So, we put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah,
we were very, very proud of it. And so, shout out to Brad for taking time to
hook us up.
Yeah. And we just want to give him a shout out, and we're looking forward to working with him.
Yes.
And last but certainly not least, the Delaware Come Home premiere of Delaware Shore was this past Friday. It's going to run through January 25th and all the way up to January 31st. It is selling out. Do you hear what I'm saying? This movie is that good. And I'm not saying that because we're in it and a part of it. And we have one of our special guests who is a part of the film is on the line. We're going to introduce them shortly, but you must go see this movie, Delaware Shore. It is that good.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you. It's really good.
It's a really good movie.
It's really good.
It's a really good movie.
And I can see why it had Oscar buzz all over it.
Absolutely.
I can see why.
The storyline is about a Holocaust survivor who escapes the concentration camps, and through her pain and suffering and trauma of being raped and all those kind of things, somehow is able to muster up enough strength to get to Delaware to Slaughter Beach. Mm-hmm. And then, unbeknown to her, her daughter leaves 2 children on her step with a note. And she's forced to raise these 2 children, Tasha and Gallagher.
Yeah.
But she still has her own trauma, and her trauma is pouring on to the children.
Yeah.
And there's so many different storylines in it that we're going to talk about.
Right, because the kids even got stories of their own within the story.
In fact, every character has a story that connects with a life experience or the human experience, whether it be good or bad. And in this case, this movie kind of unravels the negativity about our human experience. And we're looking forward to talking, looking forward to talking to our special guest. And it's just great. So make your way, please. Up until January 31st, Penn Cinema Riverfront, 401 S Madison Street, Wilmington, Delaware, 19801. Call for showtimes, 302-656-4314. And it is selling out daily. And shout out to super talented director Maga.
Yes.
Michaelangelo Rodriguez, who wrote the book, and the whole entire cast and crew who worked very, very hard to create movie magic. Mm-hmm. And like I said, like Nikee just said, you can understand, when you go see the movie, you can understand why there was Oscar buzz or Oscar contention about this movie and why it's a multi award winning film.
Yep.
Yeah, and I definitely want to give a shout out to David C. Hevitt, who was also at the premiere in Wilmington, Delaware. He flew all the way from the UK to come out and support and be a part of the festivities. Then him, Raghav, and Miss Gail were part of a Q&A the following day at another showing. And Nikee and I weren't able to make it out. I wanted to make it out so I can get the chance to meet him. And but I know that we're going to get a chance to meet sooner or later, whether it be him coming back to Delaware or us going over to the UK.
Yes.
So shout out to David C. Heaven. He did the score for Delaware Shore. You got to check this score out, man. He is the real deal. And his music enhances every scene that's played.
Nice.
It was nice.
Nice.
And we're going to talk to our special guest after this break.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a break. But before we do, man, look, we already kind of gave you the prequel. This brother is a phenomenal actor. He's in Delaware Shore. You're going to really, really enjoy hearing his story, his journey, and even some of the other things he does. But his performance in Delaware Shore, he was kind of like the character you love to hate.
Yeah, because I was going to say that, lady.
Yeah. He was kind of the character you love to hate. But he played it.
Beat him up.
Right.
But, you know, he's
not like that in real life.
Let me just say that.
Yeah, we got to put that out there.
You know, I wanted to jump through the screen and just choke the brother. But I ain't going to lay hands on him because after the film was over, we all talked and everything. He's not like that in real life, but I'm going to tell you right now, he damn sure played that part.
He played it well.
Very well.
Yes, he did.
Very well.
He really did.
Very well.
And we're going to talk about that.
We're going to talk about that part now. He ain't getting off the hook with that.
The ladies ain't going to want to let him off the hook with that.
The ladies ain't going to let him off the hook with that.
But look, I'm going to be there to defend him as the brother. But anyway.
We ain't letting him off the hook with that.
Well, this is the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio. We on iHeartRadio and we all across the world.
Yeah.
And we'll be right back.
Baby girl, where you at? Got no strings, got many ties. Can't stop that feeling for long, no. You're making dogs wanna beg it, breaking them off your fancy legs, but they make you feel right at home now. See, all these illusions just take us too long. I want that because you walk pretty, because you talk pretty, because you make me sick, and I'm not leaving till you're leaving. Oh, I swear there's something when she's coming asking for a raise. What does she want me to carry you home? Does she want me to buy a thing on my house, on my job, on my boots, shoes, my shirt, my coat, my mind, my father's mind? When I get you alone, when I get you alone, when I get you alone, when I get you alone now. Come on, baby girl, you that makes you my equivalent. You can keep your toys in the drawer tonight. All my dogs talking fast. Ain't you got some photographs? 'Cause you struck that room like a star now. Yes, you did. All these intrusions just take us too long. I want you so bad. Because you walk city, because you talk city, because you make me sick, and I'm not leaving till you're leaving. So I'm afraid of something she's bluffing, rubbing for me. What does she want me to make about it? What does she want me to make it now? On my house, on my job.
Yes, cause you walk pretty, cause you talk pretty, cause you make me sick, and I'm not leaving until you're leaving.
I love it, man.
Yes.
Yo, that I love that song.
Yes, I love that song.
But you know what, though?
Thick, baby.
The name of the song is When I Get You Alone.
Yes.
I'm not sure we should have played that song. It
Listen.
connects to the character. But we'll see how it works out. But no, shout out to Nikee.
He was trying to get her alone.
He was trying to get her alone. But yeah, we're going to talk about that. But shout out to Nikee that's over here on the ones and twos, man.
Yes.
Playing the music, man. She does so much behind the scenes. She does the editing. She's like the sound engineer.
Yes.
She does all that stuff. And,
Jesus.
yeah, she's over here like dun, 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 dun. Oh,
yes,
man.
he was trying to get her alone.
Yeah, well, that's
he
what
got
happened.
her too.
He did. He got her alone.
He got her too.
And we're going to talk about that. But anyway, all right, go ahead.
Listen. It is Holocaust Survivor Week, you guys. And month.
Yes, it's
Holocaust Survivor Month. And I'm telling you, we are up on our Delaware Shore grind.
Yeah, man.
You know, that movie is just awesome.
You know,
awesome.
And it comes at the right time.
Yeah.
You know, timing sometimes in life is everything. And, you know, with this being Jewish Holocaust Survivor Month, you know, shout out to all the Holocaust survivors, all the Jewish community. And, you know, the theme about Delaware Shore is about a Holocaust survivor. We here at Team Delaware Shore support Holocaust Survivor Month, Holocaust appreciation, in terms of just remembering a group of people who had an evil inflicted upon their culture, their race, their being, their existence.
Yeah. And
they being a very, very resilient culture, they're still here, man.
Yeah, they're still here.
And they're doing well.
And doing
very, very well. We here at Delaware, Team Delaware Shore, we support.
Yes, we
That's
do.
Right. So, without further ado, go ahead, Nick.
Without further ado, we had multi-award-winning actor who plays JJ in the multi-award-winning feature film, Delaware Shore. And he played that part very well. And I know the ladies got a lot of questions for JJ. Okay, got a lot of questions. I'm talking about none other than Jason or Maga. Woo!
What's up, Jason? How you doing?
What's up?
I'm doing very well, living the dream. Thank you.
There you go, man. Living your life like it's golden.
That's right.
That's it. That's right. Absolutely, man. Well, first, man, we want to just thank you for taking time out your busy schedule, man, to come on the show and share with us and our listeners.
Yeah.
And, man, so thank you so much.
Of course, it's an absolute pleasure. You know, you guys said it best. It was an awesome film, awesome time, awesome cast, awesome crew, and a phenomenal story.
Yeah,
nice.
Absolutely.
Well,
so let's jump right on into it.
Let's jump right on into it.
Sure.
You know, our listeners first want to know, how did you get started in acting?
Oh, that's a great question. So I've always had a passion for film and TV ever since I was young. And funny enough, you know, my mom, she was always saying, you should become an actor, you should become an actor. And, you know, it's like, yeah, sure, whatever. But funny, you know, a few years ago, I was working a corporate job. And it was wintertime, around this time of year, and I was, you know, going to work during the day, hitting the gym after work, and then going home and just kind of watching TV. And I was like, I got to do something more. So I just I started researching, you know, acting coaches in the area, and I found an awesome school called the Actors Lab in Wayne, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And I went and just checked out the class. And I fell in love and been doing it ever since. I go to class once a week. Every week, you know, I love being in front of the camera, behind the camera. I just love to be in the industry in general. I love the art.
Absolutely.
Nice.
That's what's up.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's always, you know, a good thing to encourage us as actors to continue to hone your craft. Take an acting class. Yeah. Take an online webinar, something to continue to develop your craft. That's awesome. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, there's so many ways you can do it. I mean, whether you're reading scripts, you're watching, you know, famous actors auditioning when they were, you know, starting out on YouTube. Like you said, going to classes, reading acting books. I mean, there's, you know, running lines with your friends, going out and auditioning, being in movies, being in slaves. Like, there's so many ways to be a part of the art form, and it's super important. It's like anything else, like going to the gym. You got to keep, if you want to become, a bodybuilder or, super ripped, you got to go there and be disciplined and, focus on diet and the workout. And it's the same thing with acting. You got to get comfortable in front of the camera. You got to get comfortable with auditioning in the audition room. You have to be comfortable with uncomfortable situations, such as some of the ones that I had to perform in Delaware Shore.
I got you, man. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's great advice, man. That's great advice. So tell our listeners about your character. You play JJ in Delaware Shore. Tell us a little bit about your character and who JJ is.
Sure. So JJ is Jason Julio. That is actually a real person. That is Michelangelo, the author of the book, his nephew. Oh, wow. So the character is loosely based on his life. Okay. There is some similarities that they, translated into the film, but I don't think the character is solely based off of that individual, but it's loosely based. Right. But anywho, Jason Julio, he is a troubled young man who's, I think he was involved with the wrong crowd, and of course went down the wrong path, and got into dealing drugs and such, and I think he has an interest in girls of like the high school age range. Okay. And my character in the movie comes about, and he's about I think early 20s, and basically kind of manipulates the situation with this young girl, gets her involved in drugs and such, and so that's kind of basically a little bit of backstory behind Jason.
Okay, cool.
Nice, yeah. Okay. Nice. Because you played him very well.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Now I know, Nikee that's not who you are, in real life. And, sometimes audiences can watch a film and become emotionally invested. Yeah. They say that in every adult male, there's a child, a little boy. In every adult woman, there's a child, a little girl. And sometimes, of course, we know that children have a hard time, differentiating entertainment from reality. And then the quiet is kept, or truth be told, sometimes we as adults can look at a film and that character can rub us the wrong way due to a personal experience that we've had, or we can connect with that character due to, some personal experiences that we've had. So, we remember being at the premiere in New York City, and they were talking about Miss Gale's character, and we know Miss Gale's one of the sweetest people you ever want to meet and work with and be around. And the guy said, well, as I'm hearing you talking, you're not a B. He said the curse word. Yeah. And it told me that man was emotionally invested into the character so much so that he made an assessment about who she was in real life. So, talk about that emotional investment that sometimes audiences make, or perhaps can make with your character in particular, to make you kind of like that guy in the movie that you love him, but you hate him.
Sure, that's a great question. In any character we play, we have to live truthfully in these fictional circumstances. And like you said, I'm nothing like this individual I play. I don't condone these behaviors. And I think they are awful experiences for anyone to go through, whether you are offered drugs or a victim of sexual assault, or you're doing those things. There's some trauma there on both ends, and there's trauma in that experience in general. But playing this character, I think all of us actors who I guess are good at the craft. They have a level of tapping into the emotions and empathizing with others. And just reading this story and kind of putting yourself in this situation, like I did. For example, I'm this young man, and I moved to Delaware trying to look for work, but I'm involved in drug dealing, and I kind of catch this young girl, catches my eye, and then of course, I do the wrong thing as the older person in what seems to be a relationship, and approach her and my intentions are not good. My intentions are to take advantage of her, which my character ends up doing, and it ends up being a life-changing moment for both of us.
Right.
Ultimately, for what ends up being good, the child ends up being a blessing, and Tasha's life, some of the scenes had to be removed from the film for just time reasons. But my character ends up, he makes a change. He makes a turnaround. The audience doesn't get to see that in the film, but later on, some of the second half of the scenes I shot were, me realizing the error in my ways, trying to make things right with Tasha and my son, and unfortunately I suffer, I end up getting killed. That's kind of some insider info for folks who see the movie and wonder what happens with my character, because I'm kind of there, and then I kind of, kind of drift off.
I got
but to tap into this character, it's the uncomfortable parts, you're doing well when you feel those icky feelings, when I had to sexually assault her, or when I approached her at the bus stop, knowing what my intentions were to basically make her mine, to take her out and basically manipulate the situation, looking from an adult's perspective as an actor, looking at the script, that's what my character's intentions were.
Right.
In the movie, and just, living truthfully in those circumstances, knowing what my goal is as the character there, you do a good job when you feel uncomfortable doing it, being not that kind of person. And so to really get into that, to tap into that, it was a collaborative effort, between me, Tasha, and Ragav. He kind of tells me his vision, and again, just living truthfully and knowing what my goal is as a character and what I'm trying to achieve is basically how I'm able to deliver this performance.
Right, absolutely.
And that's good, because I was going to ask you, with JJ being, a womanizer, different things like that, how hard was it for you to get into that character? Like, what did you have to do? Is there some place in your head that you had to go? Did you have to study someone? Like, how hard was that?
I feel like I have I have that understanding in my own mind where, when I'm portraying a character, I realize that there are some things about this character that may be very close to me and truthful to me as a person, but there's also many parts that may be very far away from me that I have to bring closer.
Right,
and to be able to do that, you have to have that understanding of what we're doing here. We are the living arts. We're putting on a performance, and again, I'm truthfully playing this character under fictional circumstances, and that in knowing that helps me to do these uncomfortable things.
Right.
Having that separation in my mind that I'm not that person, and I would never, in my actual life, do these things, helps me do it a bit more comfortably. And so then it's just a matter of imagination, wonder, doing a little research, rehearsing with the actress I'm in the scene with, rehearsing with fellow actor friends, talking with actor friends, trying things, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, seeing what feels good, seeing what doesn't feel good. And when I say feel good versus doesn't feel good I mean that what's going to make this scene come to life, what's going to make it truthful. And that's what I mean. That's what I want to differentiate when I say what feels good and what doesn't feel good.
Okay.
I got you.
Okay.
Yeah, we got you. Yeah, we definitely got you. Yeah. I like that you clarified that, because you're not talking about where your hands are going and things like that in terms of what's authentic and what's not authentic. Right. That's excellent. And in the scene it was very, very believable. And, like I said, shout out to, Emily McKinley Hill, who played Tasha, who was the girlfriend of JJ in the movie, played by the awesome and talented Jason Murder on the line with us. And, one of the things I wanted to ask, you had the sexual assault scene. did y'all guys kind of have like a little meeting before to say, okay, this, not that you want to telegraph everything, but maybe, because I remember when I was in acting class, the great Mr. Kim McGregor said, you know, maybe one of the things you might want to do is talk to the actress beforehand to say, hey, are you comfortable with this? What are my limitations and things like that? Did you guys kind of have like a, you know, like I don't want to say like a meeting, but some kind of conversation to say, hey, this is okay, maybe this is not okay, because it was that authentic and believable. And I just kind of wanted to know, maybe our listeners might want to know what goes into a scene beforehand, before, you know, a sexual assault scene or maybe a love scene, you know, takes place.
Yeah, well, I would think
Sure.
You know, it would be conversation first.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a great question. And just one small note before we dive in that, you know, like you said, when viewers see this, whether they know me as a person or they don't, they see these scenes and they then, you know, it evokes emotions and thoughts on their behalf of what they feel about my character, the movie, that scene, what's happening, you know, and all that. And again, the goal is to, you know, it's a drama. So, you know, we dramatize things that are very important, not because they're not important. And so, you know, the goal is to make it truthful. And so now to dive into your question, because this is such a sensitive topic and such a serious scene that involves very serious, you know, very uncomfortable and actions, if you will. It always starts off with the director, who will speak to each actor individually. Hey, this is the scene. This is what we're looking to do. Okay. How do you feel about doing this?
Okay,
individually, cool. You know, of course, you know, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to bring this film to life and to do it as best as possible. Same thing would happen with Tasha, and then we have a conversation amongst all three of us.
Okay, cool.
Leading the way, saying, okay, here's the scene. This is what we're going to do. You know, Tasha, you feel comfortable. Jason, you're okay. You know, and so we kind of talk through it first. You know, even after both understanding what we're going to be doing, what we're getting into, all unnecessary crew members are removed from the room because it is a very sensitive topic. We're doing things that are very uncomfortable, so it's really just me, Tasha, Ragav, camera, and sound. And then from there, we do some rehearsals, you know, and again, it's one of those things where we have to be comfortable with the uncomfortableness of the situation,
absolutely.
Knowing that, you know, what we're portraying, and we're doing it for the art form, and we're doing it for all of those folks out there who unfortunately had to experience these things and bring attention to them.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Just a couple more things. Then, you know, once we go through the rehearsals, they roll tape. We do a take of it. You know, they'll say, okay, good job here, make some adjustments here, grab her here, rip off her shirt here, kiss her neck, you know, what have you. You'll get those directions.
Right.
And again, there's always that constant communication. Are you guys okay? Tasha or Emily, are you feeling comfortable with this? Jason, how are you feeling with this? You know, it's always a very supportive, very team effort to make this come to life. And actually, there was times where we had to do some filming where it was just me, Ragav, and a cameraman, where Tasha was not involved in it, where I had to solely use my imagination. And the camera was kind of where the pillows would normally be on.
Okay.
So, and that's how you make that come to life with the editing and all that.
I remember I was filming a web series, and I had to play a bank owner who's kind of sexually harassing, you know, this particular coworker that I like. And so when I read the script, I'm thinking that I'm just going to walk into her office and stand at a distance and say my line. And the director, the great director, Maurice Paramore, says, look, I need you to go in. I need you to go and I need you to invade her space and And, you know, like basically everything you just said, that kind of procedure kind of took place where it was the conversation. Are you comfortable with this and this, that, and the other? And, you know, this being a character that I'm not, it was much like you said, getting comfortable with the uncomfortable in the name of the art. But at the same time, we are still human beings who have feelings. So it was kind of like afterwards, I had to high five her, like, "Are you all right?" Or do something silly to break up the seriousness.
Yeah, because I
what I'm saying?
Imagine that
Absolutely.
you know, for you guys playing those parts like that, I can only imagine how uncomfortable, you know, you would be, you know, but you're an actor, so you're trying to get the shot. I can only imagine.
Right. Cause you're still a human being.
Yeah.
At the same time, you know what I'm saying? And like, I had to touch her face and, you know, do those kinds of things. And it was like after when the director yelled cut, I wanted to make sure I would ask her, "Are you okay? Everything fine?" Or give her a high five saying, "Great job." Yeah. It breaks up that kind of, you know, when you're on that path of creating, it breaks that up so that you can let the other person know, hey, you know, we're just acting. I'm here to support you. Right. You're here to support me. And this is really not who I am. And we're doing this in the name of, you know, and then afterwards you got to go home and watch SpongeBob or something happy to get all this stuff out your system.
And to your point, that leads into my question for Jason, because when we had Gail on our show, Gail was saying how she wanted to take that drive home to bring herself down out of that character. That was her way of, you know, getting away from
disconnecting.
It. So James, Jason, I'm sorry, Jason, what did you do what kind of technique do you have to bring yourself out of certain characters when you have to go in and you got to go in hard and go in deep? What are some of the things you do to bring yourself down?
Sure, that's a great question. And, you know, Kev, you said it great. You know, you go, you know, for me, I go into it, you know, first with that understanding of, you know, what my job is as an actor. You know, to truthfully go there, you have to go there mentally, emotionally, physically, and you have to live in that, like we talked about, in that uncomfortableness of the scene for the art. And you know, every great actor knows it's not about you as a person; it's about your scene partner.
Right. I like that, Jay.
Yeah.
And they're giving it back to you, and so it's that collaborative effort. And so, honestly, for me, I'm comfortable again. You know, not only am I comfortable in the scene, I'm comfortable when that camera, when they call cut, because again, I just have that. You know, I have that healthy understanding of what we're doing, the purpose of it. And so, you know, I truthfully go there physically, emotionally, mentally, with, you know, many tactics to get to that point. But, you know, once they call cut, then, you know, I simply remove myself from the situation. Kev, like you said, "Hey, Emily, you know, how are you feeling about this?"
Right.
You know, is there anything that, you know, you'd like to do a little different?
Right.
You know, he gives his notes. And so then, you know, my mind is always on the art. And, you know, sometimes, you know, you just have to let those uncomfortable thoughts and feelings be there, because as humans, they eventually subside and go away. Because, you know, once we cut that, we're moving right into another scene, or a "Hey, Jason, go step outside." We're gonna prep, you know, for Emily's close up, and we'll have you come in a few minutes. In which case, you know, one of my advices, if I do need it, is music. I throw the earphones in.
There you go.
Like you said, put on a good song. Maybe I'll go out and talk with another actor, crack some jokes, just to, you know, again, bring the lightness back to it. To, you know, so that we can be prepared for the next shot.
That's powerful, man. He is giving some very powerful information out here. We're talking to Jason Maga. He is the multi-award winning actor. You can find him in Delaware Shore. This movie is a must see.
Yes, it
and
is.
He does a phenomenal job playing JJ. And he's dropping nuggets, audience. And if you're like me and Nikki, we're here taking notes because we want to become better actors. And he is laying it out for anybody that may have to film a scene where you might find yourself being uncomfortable. He's dropping the science. He's giving you the nuggets, and you might want to look at how you can apply that. And I guarantee it's going to take you to another level in your acting, and you're going to see when you see this multi-award winning film.
Nice.
Great stuff. Yeah. So we got to talk about the premiere.
Yes.
Tell us about the premiere. Now, I missed it, but I've been promoting all week and all that stuff and shouting it out. What was that experience like coming back home to Delaware, to Delaware Shore? Now, I had a chance to look at some of the reviews on YouTube. They were filming people coming out of the theater, talking about, and everybody have nothing but rave reviews. What was that experience like? A packed out theater, large theater, and to see your name, your face, your acting up there, and what was that experience like?
The few best words I could say to describe it, it's a beautifully humbling experience. It is obviously very nice to see your name in the credits. It's nice to see yourself on the big screen. It's wonderful to see a huge turnout. But again, we do this for other people. We don't really, again, great actors they don't really do this for themselves. They do this for the art. We want to put something out there that people enjoy. We bring attention to sensitive topics such as Holocaust survivors, mental illness, drug abuse, sexual abuse, etc., etc.
Right.
So, one of my favorite parts, obviously, again, as an actor, it's beautiful to see all of our hard work up on the big screen. Getting reviews. But one of the best things is actually people coming up to me afterwards who actually had family members in the Holocaust, or had some experience, some close link to it personally, and how they them saying, wow, this movie was very powerful. We enjoyed it. Thank you for bringing attention to it. You did a beautiful job portraying your character. And those are really wonderful things to hear because, again, we never want to forget these topics and we want to give support and know that, let everyone know who was in any way affected by this, whether personally, family, that, there is love out there for them. And we do this for that reason, to let the world know so that no one ever forgets, and again, so that to let them know that we care. And again, it was just very humbling. I remember this one young lady with her husband, I believe it was, and she said her parents were in Holocaust Germany, and so that was really touching.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love what you said, man, because, we have a humanitarian responsibility as actors, because I look at us as servants. Right. You know what I'm saying? We're servants. We have a responsibility to throw our hearts into this craft to serve others, because we can bring healing by what we do on that screen. We can bring introspection. We can, we provide escape for people. Like when they're watching us on the screen, they're not thinking about their bills. Now, after the credits roll up, they might start thinking about their bills. You know what I mean? They're not thinking about their wayward children. They're not thinking about their pain and their problems because they're engaged in what we're providing for them. And I always keep that in the back of my mind every time I step in front of that camera. Nikee as well. We're here to serve others. And I have responsibility to be on point, to know my lines, to be, wardrobe ready, Johnny on the spot, and to give it my all, because somebody can watch this and connect and relate. And so I remember you said of JJ and Tasha, that there was some, I don't know exactly how you worded, but there was some issues on both sides that, they were kind of dealing with, which brings me to that point of hurt people, which seems to be not want to say overriding, but it is a main theme in the movie. You have Agnes, who was a Holocaust survivor. She didn't have a Dr. Phil to go to sit down and talk to about her pain and problems. She had to deal with it on her own. Right. And maybe she really did love Gallagher and Tasha. Maybe she had a weird way of showing it, but it was filtered through her suffering, her pain. And we're not justifying treating anyone bad because of our pain, but just talk about that theme of hurt people, how hurt people can hurt others. Yeah.
That's a great point, and it's very true in this movie and in life in general. In Tasha's life, she was constantly, she was dealing with abandonment issues because her mom abandoned her and left her on the doorstep of Agnes's, her grandmother's house. So you have that, and then you have, like you said, Agnes, or Gail, who is dealing with her own struggles with going through the awful experience of Holocaust Germany, and actually, being a part of killing, other Jewish individuals, and that's as we were saying, she had to deal with all of that on her own.
Right.
And as a hurt individual, she did the best she could.
But yeah.
At the same time, hurt Tasha and gave her emotional issues, which then you have Jason Julio inject him, who is involved with the wrong people, in the wrong places where he shouldn't be, doing drugs, selling drugs, things he shouldn't be doing, very unhealthy lifestyle, a very unhealthy mental or mindset. And now, again, he sees an opportunity, a hurt individual to ultimately then end up, he sees an opportunity with another hurt individual to take advantage of that situation.
Right.
And, it is very true because that's exactly what it was. I was like a lion. I was preying on her. I knew what I wanted. I went after it. Hey, how you doing?
Right.
I'm Jason. I want to get to know you better. Led to me manipulating the situation, using her emotional issues against her, and inviting her to a hotel room, doing things that she's uncomfortable with in front of her, forcing her to do things, drugs that she's uncomfortable with, that she never did before, that she never really wanted to do, and then going forward with sexually assaulting her, impregnating her having that baby, me not being supportive, again, manipulation, and there's that, and we look at that from an outside perspective, and normally people would see my character as the bad guy in this situation, and rightfully so, and Tasha as the victim, and again, rightfully so. But when you look at it from an objective standpoint, it's like you said, they're both hurt individuals, and they both come from very unfortunate circumstances, and it gives us that opportunity as actors and as humans, to really, recognize that, because it happens all over every day. Yeah. Children of all ages, sizes, all over the world, and if we're more kind to each other and we show love, which is what we naturally do. People are taught to hate. People are taught to do bad things. People don't do that naturally. People naturally love, Right. And so if we are more conscious of these things, maybe we can have that positive impact so that someone like Jason Julio doesn't get into drugs.
Right. I like it. Look, we're about to take up a collection offering for you. He get the bell for that.
He gets the bell.
That was well said, man.
That was very well said. That is very well said, because a lot of the points that he is saying on our show, they were saying that in conjunction with that R. Kelly nonsense that's going on.
Absolutely.
So he hit on
right
a
on
lot
the
of points that the same people were saying, how he was using and manipulating those girls and using their.
But you talking about R. Kelly or Bobby Brown?
No, the R. Kelly situation, how he was getting those girls.
I got you.
He was preying on them and using their lack of,
I got you.
At home to keep them and different things like that. So a lot of the things that he's saying is what they were saying about R. Kelly. Right. So that's good.
And you know what? And on that point, Nick, this just makes me say this is all the more a movie for such a time as this, because it's hitting on that introspective part of the negative of our human experience.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
that is a great point, because I look at that and I think most of us look at that situation with R. Kelly.
Yeah.
And again, I take an objective standby. I take a step back, and I'm only going off of what I learned from these TV shows and what we see online. Of course, we don't know all the truth of it. Some of it could be fabricated. Some of it could be blown up to for entertainment purposes. Unfortunately, that's a part of the world we live in. Sometimes things that are awful, they make seem more awful for those views, for the TV show. But you look at someone like R. Kelly and what he did, and of course he was wrong, and the things that those girls went through were awful, and they should have never had to go through that. But then, when you learn about, that R. Kelly was abused himself at a very young age, it brings some understanding as to why he went that path, why he did what he did, why he had those sexual interests that he had. Now, I say this very carefully, because I don't want to be misconstrued as I think that it's okay that what he did. I think it's absolutely wrong what he did, because regardless of what you had, what kind of experience you had growing up, once he got that first $50,000, $100,000 check, he had a responsibility as an adult then to seek out the help to
remedy
those issues that he had. And we all have our own crosses we bear and difficulties in life. You know, his unfortunately is a very unhealthy, behavior that he takes on in his life, and it's very unfortunate. But again, having that understanding, we then can have some sort of sympathy for him. But then we have to again look at it objectively and say, R. Kelly, once you become an adult, you know right from wrong.
Right.
Doing these things, you had the ability to seek out help to curb those sexual desires you had, because at the end of the day, he was a hurt individual, and he hurt many other individuals as per this show. I don't know anything factually. Again, I'm going off what I've heard.
Right.
And it's heartbreaking all around when you really look at it, because he didn't ask for his experiences that he went through, just like none of these girls really asked to have the emotional and mental stress of what they experienced with him.
Right.
So, again, it's like, if only love existed in this world, none of these things would ever be a topic or ever happen. But unfortunately, it does. And if we're one of those fortunate enough folks to grow up in a loving household and have a healthy upbringing, have friends, and healthy experiences, instead of pushing those people away that we see going through these things, try to help them in some way, shape, or form, because at the end of the day, I don't think his intention was to hurt those girls. Right. He was going off of what he learned.
Right.
And,
and I'm going to tell you, Jason, I really appreciate your balance. You gave a very balanced perspective that involved love and compassion and accountability as well. You were right smack dead at 12 o'clock, man. And I really appreciate that, where you're giving the understanding why somebody could behave like that, but at the same time saying it's not okay to hurt others because you're hurting. And that was a very, very powerful and balanced response. And just one last question. And that is the challenge. I call it the Delaware Shore Challenge. And maybe you can answer this in just a yes or no. There was a challenge at the end where Tasha's interviewing one of the Holocaust survivors. She's being made aware through that interview that now maybe Granny was hurting us because of the pain that she was going through. And it brought up the challenge of, can I kind of look past my own pain in terms of how somebody inflicted pain on me to see their pain and then go to their rescue? Could you be able to do that?
That's a great question. Because I don't know what you call it, but that takes a lot in someone like Tasha to be able to have that compassion and understanding and take the time to understand and then go back and say, hey, Grandma, I understand now.
Right.
You did the best you could. And that's healthy for both parties, I think. It allows Tasha to forgive what she hates so much, and it allows, Agnes or Gail to kind of, I guess, take a look at her own actions, which I'm sure she knew to some degree were wrong. But again, she was going off of, that hurt and pain that she went through her life and was handling things the best way she knew how. But so, then you kind of had that moment between them where you see that they both, I guess, forgave each, well, Tasha forgave her and Gail was sorry for what she did. And could I do that? I want to say yes.
Okay.
But, have I done anything like that since the movie? I have not. But I would like to think I have it in me too, because, if you're able to understand these concepts of okay, now I understand why this person hurt me. Again, it brings some clarity as to why, because I think a lot of times in trauma, people are like, why did this happen to me?
Right.
Why are they like that? Is it going to happen again? Those unhealthy thoughts that circle in people's mind, that fear, and which leads them again to live that uncomfortable lifestyle and hate, the hurt, encourages more hurt. And so if you were that kind of person that has that kind of compassion and can take that time to understand why someone did what they did or why someone is the way they are, I think you then have that responsibility to explore that, for both of you, for you as maybe a victim, or someone who inflicted pain, and that other person who inflicted pain or was the victim of your pain.
Right.
And, so yeah, I guess the answer is I could do that, and I see the healthiness in that, and, I think that's, I think that's great for anyone that went through that goes through those experiences. If they can muster up that strength and courage to
forgive.
I guess forgive and just let love take over. And I think that's what it really is. You're removing that hurt and that pain, and you're turning it into love. I understand.
Gotcha.
And that makes me feel better that I understand. With understanding now, I can forgive. And me as a person, I don't want to ever hate anyone. I don't want to ever have any uncomfortable feelings with someone. I want to feel good about everyone I speak with. I want to feel good about everyone I encounter. I want to spread love. And so, very long-winded, but to cut it short real quick, I think I do have that capability to be able to go to someone and say, hey, I understand why you did what you did, and I want you to know that I forgive you for it. And, there's a freedom in that.
There you go. That's it right there, man. That's it right there. Well, listen, Jason, man, you have been an awesome guest, man. You had an awesome performance in Delaware Shore.
Yeah.
We want to encourage everybody to go out and see this movie, see Jason in action, doing his thing. And just remember, he's just creating a character, guys.
He is.
You know what I mean? Go see it. It's been premiering at Penn Cinema Riverfront, 401 South Madison Street, Wilmington, Delaware, 19801. It'll be playing there up to the 31st. Tickets are selling out daily to see this highly anticipated Oscar buzzing, multi-award winning film with its multi-award winning cast. 302-656-4314. And we never like to let our guests go without giving them the opportunity to put your social media out there. Maybe people want to book you. Maybe they want to follow you on Facebook or whatever. If you so desire, you're more than welcome to do it. This is your time. Or any projects you got coming up or where they can be on the lookout for you and so forth and so on.
Well, firstly, thank you folks for having me on the show. It was an awesome time to chat about the movie. It is a beautiful project. I encourage everyone to go out there and see it. Delaware Shore, the movie. It's all over social media, Facebook, YouTube. It's about the movie and everyone in the movie. I'm not going to put myself out there. I thank you guys all for listening, and I hope everyone enjoys it. Thank you guys so much.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yes.
How's that?
Yes.
All right, man.
Yes.
Well, listen, man, as we say on the Kevin and Nikee Show, once you come on the Kevin and Nikee Show,
your family.
Well, you already was family from Delaware Shore, but you family again.
I appreciate that. Thank you guys, and God bless you.
All right. God bless, man. Take care.
Take care.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome.
He was awesome. Wasn't he awesome?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, he dropped so many nuggets out there. This conversation touched on the human experience, connected with the movie, connected with real life, connected with characters. It was just great. This is a phenomenal movie. Some of the greatest people I've been around in my life. Super talented director, cast, and crew. You want to go see this movie, Delaware Shore. It is a movie for such a time as this.
He get the bell again.
He get the bell while he off his line.
He gets the bell again.
It was great. It was a great movie. It is a great movie. Great interview. It was just awesome. It was just awesome.
Nice,
and I thought he did a very honest and balanced.
Yes, he did.
Job of answering the questions and, balancing, like I said,
and
love.
Not only that, he gave, I love the answer that he gave about R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Because
he connected
that because a lot of people are truly hurt from what R. Kelly has done.
Yeah.
But R. Kelly has been hurt himself.
Right. So hurt people hurt people.
Goes back to what we've been talking about on the show. Hurt people, hurt people. And I like, in all honesty, I like to think if R. Kelly had not gone through what he has gone through as a child, he probably would have turned out different.
I would like to believe so.
I would like to
because in psychology they tell you that people who were sexually abused, tend to repeat the behavior.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, of course, not in all cases, but in most cases, they repeat the same behavior. And, but I like what Jason said, we're not making excuses
We're not making
for that.
excuses.
Because he talked about, becoming an adult.
When he got his money.
Taking ownership for your action, responsibility. Yeah. Because he could set up an appointment and go talk to a Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
And Dr. Phil would love to have him on the show.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? He could get the help. But I like the balanced approach because there are victims involved. Yeah. And we don't want to, sometimes, people want to focus on the victimizer, maybe because they have some kind of connection, with that person in some kind of way, shape, or form, or they like his music or whatever. They like the way he play basketball, whatever. And they forget that there are real, true victims involved whose lives will never be the same because somebody victimized the person over here and they ended up victimizing them. As you say, hurt people. Hurt people.
He was hurt. So, he is, hurt himself. So, hey.
That was great. That was great conversation. Great conversation.
Good. That was
and
good.
I'm just so happy for everybody involved in this movie and just, for us to be, just a small part of it has been such an awesome experience. It's been a heck of a ride. It's been a heck of a run with this movie, Delaware Shore. And, like I said, just to be a small part of it, we're just so thankful and grateful. Yeah. And it's an honor to be connected and associated with this project. The director Maga, the super talented cast. It's just, it's hard to describe. Yeah. It's just hard to describe. It's kind of, but I like what Jason said. He put it in perspective. At the end of the day, we do this to give away. We do this to give to others, to serve others. Yeah. And so many people, who are able to relate or connect with this movie in any kind of way, shape, or form, big or small, whether they had great-great-grandparents or grandparents that was, affected by, the Holocaust, to come up to them after the movie and, say, hey, I really enjoyed that. And, because it's making them feel remembered too. And I got to say this too, as an African-American male, of course, my historical, connectivity with suffering, of course, will be slavery. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And, we're not saying forget that either, but this is for the Holocaust survivors. And we remember and we support them as well. Yeah.
Yep. Good interview. Well, we're going to take a break. All right. And when we come back, it's going to be time for news and sport.
The Scholars Professional Editing Firm consists of specialized groups of academic doctors, editors, and statisticians that keep doctoral candidates moving through the academic doctoral process by providing one-to-one group mentorship and all-inclusive editorial services that produce writing advancements that result in exponential movement. The scholars conduct line-by-line editing, proof and copy editing, university-specific format, compliance, and substantiated, done-for-you services on the following documents: doctoral thesis, dissertation, capstone projects, research studies, research proposals, research papers, and oral defense preparations and presentations. The Scholars Professional Editing Group keep you moving. For information on editorial services, our doctoral accelerated mentorship program, visit www.thescholarsedititing.com. That's www.thescholarsedititing.com or contact Dr. Haynes at 281-315-6053. All right. So we're back. We're back.
Yeah.
All right. So it's time for
news and sports.
Well, in sport, I'm gonna put it right in the middle. I'm gonna put it in the middle. It's in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Wow. The Eagles are not in it, so I gotta put it in the middle. I only got one story to report, and that is, of course, as we already know, the Super Bowl is set. We got the New England Patriots versus the Los Angeles Rams in ATL Sunday, February 3rd, 2019. Kickoff to be determined. Now, I'm hoping that the New England Patriots lose. I don't know. When they started like deflating footballs and all that stuff, they lost me. Yeah. Spying on the Eagles practices and all that stuff. You kind of lost me. And are they a dynasty? Do they have one of the best or greatest quarterbacks in the NFL? Maybe perhaps the greatest. And Tom Brady, yes. But it's just something about them that just rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I'm rooting for the Los Angeles Rams, but it's just a great time. The Super Bowl is a great time to just get together with family and friends and eat pizza and cheesesteaks and just have a great time and under some celebratory circumstances and watch the game. So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, and there's some controversy, surrounding the Super Bowl too. They
inflated the balls again? Oh my goodness.
No.
What they do? They inflated the other team's shoes this time?
The performances, the halftime show, and then you have
Gladys Knight, right?
Gladys Knight singing the national anthem.
Now wait a minute, did the Pips back out on this one?
I don't know what's going on.
I guess we'll find out. Huh?
We'll find out come Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, I tell you, I don't know. Well, we're going to have to watch because we're going to have some stuff to report.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of stuff to report.
We're going to have a lot of stuff to report.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a lot.
We'll see. All right.
We shall see.
We shall see. And 75 heartbeats. We shall see. Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? This is so crazy, you guys. In news, a video has gone viral about this baby girl getting out of the car and walking towards the police with her hands up. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the story. The girl's parents were caught by police for shoplifting. Okay, police pulled over the vehicle with their guns drawn. Okay, guns are drawn. Now, the little girl gets out of the vehicle, raises her hands.
How old was the little girl?
She had, Kev, the little girl had to look no more than 3. Okay. Very little girl. She gets out of the vehicle.
Did she have Pampers on?
She had on a coat.
Okay.
She had on boots. And she had on the cute little boots, and she had on some little tights and something, and she had her hood over on her head, and she gets out of the car and she got her hands up. She walks to the police officers, she stops, and then she proceeded to walk over some more. I guess giving her parents time to stash whatever they had stashed in the car or whatever.
Well, you know what? I don't know the whole story, but it sounds to me like this little child has some kind of understanding of what's going on. I don't know the whole story. You know what I'm saying? Did they tell the child to get out the car and walk with your hands up?
Well, here's the thing.
We don't know.
A child that small, they put that child out the car.
No. Okay. I'm not going to argue that.
She was in the front seat.
Okay.
She was in the front seat on the driver's side. And you can see her getting out of the vehicle and walking over to the police. Now, here's my thing. The cops, well, some of them, okay. I don't think, well, you know what? Let me back that up.
I know what you're going to say.
Some of them.
They might just go ahead and do exactly what you said.
It is my prayer. How about that? That you're not going to engage in fire while this baby is walking towards you.
Right.
Okay, so the baby walking toward them, in my head, kind of calmed down the situation.
Right.
Now, you do have some cops who don't care if you got a baby or not. They fire. We know that.
I mean, but I'm just looking at the fact that the child had the hands up.
Yeah,
so whether she was instructed by the parents or whoever's in the car, or she had her own understanding. These kids understand.
Let me tell you something. Children are not stupid.
Yeah, they understand what's going on.
They see.
They know, they understand.
They do. They
stuff.
see what's going on.
Yeah,
and
so,
the officer, one of the officers, a female officer, she comes forward and she picks up the baby and she takes the baby to safety. But you can clearly see the other officer on the opposite side of the vehicle with his gun drawn. Because he don't know what, I guess they're going to get.
Right.
But by this baby getting out of the vehicle, that this is what happened. But the video of the baby getting out of the vehicle has gone viral because people are like, oh my goodness, is the baby getting out of the vehicle with her hands up?
Right.
I mean, that was crazy right there. But I would like to think that the baby, I guess de-escalated in her own little teeny tiny way. De-escalated the situation to keep the firing down from on the vehicle with the parents. So I guess in my mind, the baby saved their lives because, like I said, guns were out, guns were drawn. All right, so I don't know. I don't know. That's what happened. In other news, Lionel Richie's son, 24-year-old Miles Brockman Richie, he went on a temper tantrum about not being let on a plane in Heathrow at the Heathrow Airport in London. So security was called. He started saying to security that if you don't let me on this plane, I'm gonna blow this thing up. I got bombs on me.
Well, that was the worst thing he could have said. Yeah, those are that's language you cannot use in the airport.
What in the world is going on? He said, I got a bomb, and if you don't let me on this plane, I'm going to blow it up. But wait a minute. If they were not going to let you on the plane now, of course, if you got a bomb, they darn sure ain't going to let you on the plane then.
Right.
Come on, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah. That doesn't make any sense. Now, here's the thing. Under UK law, giving a caution in the country is not considered a criminal conviction. Okay, so they gave him a caution. They said, look, go home and don't come back. And he better be damn sure that that's all he got, because if the law was the other way, they would have locked his behind up. Over here, you getting locked up. You're going to be detained for a couple of days over here in the U.S. So he better be lucky that they talked to him, gave him a caution, and sent him on his way. You know, and they tried to reach Lionel Richie for comments, and, you know, they couldn't get him. You know, he didn't have any comment. But he better be lucky, you know, his son was able to get back home safely, and he had to fly over to London to plead the blood on him. Because, you know, come on now. Over here, what is that? DEFCON 1?
I don't know. I'm not even sure.
Whatever it is bad. What is that over in the U.S.? We are on high alert over here. You cannot say that over here in the United States. They will lock you up and keep you for a couple of days, not a couple of hours, a couple of days. So he better be lucky. All he got was a warning, and he was sent home and told not to come back. He better be lucky. Crazy. I mean, crazy people. I guess because he's a Richie, he feel as though, you know, he can do and say whatever he want, throw the family name around. That should get you where you need to go. That's just crazy. And my last story of the day, and ain't that some bleep news. Last week, Chris Brown was held in France on a pending investigation of a rape charge. Chris Brown, along with 2 other men, were detained because a woman said he raped her after they went to the Madrid Oriental Hotel. Now, here's the thing. The woman met Chris Brown and his friends at Le Crystal nightclub, and they all went to the hotel. Why are you going to the hotel with 3 men? I don't know. Somebody help me with that one. Now, although charges were not filed against the men, Chris Brown and the 2 other men could have faced charges of aggravated rape and drug infractions. Now, Chris Brown and the 2 men were freed only because people started coming forward and saying, no, they were not there.
Right.
That is not true. That is not true. They were not at that hotel, and she was not at the hotel with them. She's lying. That's what, you know, the people started coming to Chris's defense. And, you know, so Chris is turning around. You know, he was free to go home, him and the men. And Chris is going to turn around and sue this woman now, file a lawsuit against her for saying that he took her back to this hotel, and he and his friends, you know, raped her and different things. She was laying out some heavy charges.
Well, here's the thing. That is a sign that you have to take into consideration. Once again, I don't know the entire story. These are just allegations. And so integrity says a criminal-minded person is concerned about beating the charges, getting away, and then trying to figure out how not to get caught the next time. Somebody with integrity is more concerned about their reputation. Not that he has a squeaky clean reputation, you know, in that regard, but when you know you're innocent of something and that you didn't do it, and somebody filed false allegations against you, integrity, at least in that situation, would say, I'm filing back on you for these false allegations on me. You know, especially when you're talking about allegations of, these are some severe allegations. These are some severe allegations. Now, here's the thing. TMZ brought this story. Okay. And TMZ made a very interesting point. TMZ said, you know, he has
a background, of,
the history
of, violence against women. This is the story with him and Rihanna. Then his other ex-girlfriend, Karuchi, they got into it and different things like that. And, so TMZ was like, some people may want to prey on that.
Right.
Yeah, they true. Want, use his past
because they know
against him.
Yeah.
Prey on that. So
because they know that the probability of them being believed, given the negative history, is going to be higher. And then the thing that a lot of celebrities have to be careful is being extorted, or somebody's saying, "Hey, if you don't want me to sue you, or these allegations getting out, we want money in return." It's a lot of different things that they have to face. And so, and at the same token, we cannot say, well, here's Chris Brown again based on his past, because this might not be true this time around. Now, in terms of people judging, that would be understandable because of his past. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes in life, our past, we can never get rid of that reputation, man. And so at that point, you just have to, you got to live up under, what you have created, especially if it's been your doing that has contributed to you creating a negative past. And embrace it, but not with self-destructive behavior patterns. What I mean by that, I don't want him to say, well, y'all said I was a rapist, so I'm going out and rape people. No, y'all said I was a rapist, or whatever these allegations are that aren't true. You're trying to connect it reflective of my past, and that's not who I am. I accept what you have said, but I don't accept it of me or about me. And then you go on with your life. You know what I mean?
Because there is a part where, he's trying to change.
Right.
And it keeps coming up. For more on these stories, for the story of the young lady, the little baby with her hands up, you can find that story on Yahoo News. And for the story about Lionel Richie's son, you can find that story on TMZ. And you can also find Chris Brown on TMZ.
That's it.
All right. That's it. That's all I got in news.
All right. So,
okay.
Yeah. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to find out what is my favorite part of the show. What's bothering Nikee? What's bothering Nick?
Just something to admire, cause you shine in something like a mirror, and I can't help but notice you reflect in this heart of mine. If you ever feel alone and regret makes it hard to find, just know that I'm always very loud on the other side. Cause with your hand in my hand and a pocket full of soul, I can tell you there's no place we couldn't go. Just put your hand on the past, I'll be trying to pull you through. You just gotta be strong. I don't wanna lose you now. I'm looking right at the other half of me. But they can see the side of my heart. There's a space and now you're home. Show me how to fight the now. And I'll tell you, baby, it was easy coming back into you once I figured it out. You were right here alone. It's like you're a mirror. Oh, a mirror staring back at me. Oh, I couldn't get any bigger. Oh, with anyone else beside me. Oh, and I was hearing the promise that we're making two reflections into one. Cause it's like you're a mirror. Oh, a mirror staring back at me. Staring back at me. I'm just something and original, cause it doesn't seem to make it simple. And I can't help but stare, cause I see true summer in your eyes. Ooh, I can't ever change without you. You reflect me, I love that about you. And if I could, I would look at us all the time. Cause with your hand in my hand and a pocket full of soul, I can tell you there's no place we couldn't go. Just put your head on the past, I'll be trying to pull you through. You just gotta be strong. I don't wanna lose you now. I'm looking right at the other half of me. But they can see the side of my heart. There's a space and now you're gone. days and now you're home. Show me how to fight for now. Show me, baby. I tell you, baby, and it was easy coming back into you once I figured it out. You were right here all along. It's like you're my mirror. Oh, my mirror staring back at me. Oh, I couldn't get any bigger. Oh, with anyone else beside me. Oh, and now it's clear as this promise that we're making two reflections into one. Cause it's like you're my mirror. Oh, my mirror staring back at me. Staring back at me.
You are listening to the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio, Spreaker, and a whole lot more. We worldwide, y'all. Yeah. That's good. Gotta love JT, man.
I love me some JT. I love me some
man.
JT.
Oh, man, don't get me started. Don't get me started. Sometimes I get it. Sometimes I hit that cloud. Yeah, man. But anyway.
Cry me a river.
Is that how I go?
I can't remember because you
Cry me a river, right?
Yeah, Cry Me a River.
That's what I said.
Yeah, but that wasn't Cry Me a River.
That wasn't Cry Me a River. That's just one of his songs.
Love JT.
Yeah. He's a musical genius, man. You know what I'm saying? He's a musical genius. But anyway, it's now time for my favorite part of the show. It's time to find out what's bothering Nikee. What's bothering you there?
Well, you know, it's a lot bothering me. One thing is really bothering me, but I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about something else. Okay. You know, I'm just going to go and find my healing from that and just, you know, keep it moving. But you know, we talked about, you know, Chris Brown and you know, his past and different things like that. You know, in society we have a lot of people that are walking around hurting. Mm-hmm. You know, and we're on this awesome series, which I feel is just phenomenal because it's helping a lot of people. We're on this hurt people series, and you know, I'm just going to piggyback off of you today because it's a lot of people walking around hurting, and it's a lot of people walking around hurting and they don't know what to do. So kudos to you, you know, for providing, you know, some help for these people. Because, you know, the way I look at it, we got two different type of people. Right. We have the people who walk around, you know, they're in pain. So they're going to inflict pain on others. Right. They don't want no help. Right. They don't want no help because they feel as though they are entitled to do what they're doing. Right.
Or they're blinded.
Right. Or they're blinded. Yeah. And then you have those people who realize the error of their ways. Right, realize that they want to get help. Mm-hmm. They seek help to make themselves better. So is these people right here that when they say I'm sorry and they make changes, why do we as people still try and keep them in bondage with what they've been doing?
Hold them, we try to hold them to what they used to be. Right. And you know what, Nick, I don't have all the answers, but I know what I do know from what I've studied, from life experience, from my education. Mm-hmm. You know, we've been talking a lot about Delaware Shore. Right. And it's really, you know, like you said, hurt people. It's talking about that negative aspect or component of our human existence, especially when there's trauma involved. Mm-hmm. And we have misappropriated that trauma. We haven't dealt with it and how it hurts us continuously and pours on others. Right. But there's also a characteristic in our human existence along these same lines where we enjoy seeing other people hurting. Yeah. We, you know, deep down inside, hurting people say this. That's what they get. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's something in the human experience that want to see others fall, others fail, others falter. There's something in our negative human experience that want to see people in pain, continue to have problems, experience persecution and stuff like that. There's something in us as humans in our negative experience that wants to purposely hold you in your past when they know you have changed. Yeah. Because to them, I don't care how much you change. and I see it and I know it, I'm going to hold you right here because this is where I want you to be. And this gives me power over you to say I'm a better person.
It's like we cannot let that person just move on from that and get their healing. I mean, why do we keep pushing them right back to where they're trying to get from?
Right. Or where they've moved from.
Or where, like you said, where they move from. It's like you're hanging. Why do we hang that over people's head?
Like a rainy cloud. And here's this is what I found so interesting about people who do that. People who make mistakes, they want to be judged by their intentions.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But they want to judge you by your actions.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, when they break the lamp, it's not that they don't want to admit that it got broken, but let me explain how it happened. You know, I was dribbling the ball and I lost control of the ball, and man, it accidentally or ended up hitting the lamp and it broke. And they want you to kind of understand from what was explained why the lamp got broke, and you still to see them as a good person who would not have maybe originally broken the lamp.
Right.
But when somebody else break the lamp, they want to say, nah, I don't want to hear it. Mm-hmm. You broke the lamp. You are, and then we label people. You a lamp breaker.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? We want to label because we want to hold people where we are. We want to judge people by their intentions, by their behavior, and we want to be judged by our intentions. It's hypocritical.
If they are trying to change, let it go. Mm-hmm. Let it go. If they are
let it go. That just came on kind of out of nowhere. That was a Disney song, wasn't it? Let it go. Frozen. That's what it was. Go ahead.
You know what?
But it tied right on in. Look, now watch how I fixed it.
Go ahead,
they want people to be frozen in their past while you unfroze in your present.
I'm sorry, y'all.
I tried to fix it, y'all.
I'm sorry.
But y'all get the message.
You know what? I can't even talk right now. Okay, let me try and fix this.
Yeah.
Okay. Like Kev said, they want you to stay frozen in your past and not move forward. Mm-hmm. And I don't get that, because if a person is trying to grow, you owe it to that person to, like Kev said, let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go.
You know what, man? I didn't really want to bring this up. I gotta say this.
All right, go ahead.
Church folk tend to do that a lot. Cause you better not make no mistake in front of some church folk. Cause they gonna hold you. It could be 20 years done past, and they can say, "Yeah, that's the liar right there." You know what I mean? You walking with a cane now. You did that when you was 12 years old. But maybe I'm getting off track again. But we got to stop this nonsense. I mean, especially like you said, when we see that people are trying and we can see them making adjustments. It doesn't mean that you have to pretend that their past doesn't exist. Because, in a lot of cases, in some cases, behavior does repeat itself. But when you see people taking the necessary steps to get the help that they need to try to make changes, make adjustments, we need to allow them that growth and development.
Yeah, I mean, you can't...
Not justifying any behavior that they may have done if it hurt people, but if they're trying to make changes,
like going back to, the Chris Brown situation. Now, we don't know all the stories, but it appears that this young lady was using his past against him. Right. And, the rape, that's a serious charge. Mm-hmm. That's a serious charge. And that thing is hard to get off. This brother could have went to jail.
Yeah.
He could have went to jail. Yeah. Come on. You can't do that. Mm-hmm. This young man, and I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't a huge fan. I stopped being a huge fan of Chris Brown when it came out and he and Rihanna got into it in some, blood and different things like that, and he bit her and all kinds of, things like that, and then here come Karrueche, his new girlfriend, and she's like, he ain't changed yet. But now, from what I understand, from what I heard, he went to counseling and, he's trying to get it down. He went to anger management and different things like that. So he's trying to change. So leave this brother alone.
And I appreciate this coming from you as a woman, because I don't want to make it a male-female thing, but, women would be more inclined to say, once a dog, always a dog, or once a beater, and always a beater. And maybe in a lot of cases, we're not saying that it doesn't exist.
Right.
But what we're saying is that when someone is making the key word is sincere effort to make change. Now, what you look for is is the person repentant or broken about their actions? Do they feel bad about how their actions may have infringed or hurt someone else? When you can get that feeling, then you know that they're on a positive path to being rehabilitated and or changing.
Right.
So, but I believe that anybody out there that's ever made a mistake, which is lottie-die, everybody, you deserve a chance. You deserve a chance to at least try to make some changes.
Come on,
or at least prove that you've made changes.
People,
Wait, and one more thing. The flip side of that too, because I want to give balance. He got to earn that too.
Yes.
Chris Brown got to earn it. Not that he's got to prove it to the world or to people, but he's got to earn that respect back because, especially when it's been behaviors that you have, done yourself. So, some of it. So we're not looking at him like a victim. Like it's not the thoughts are not warranted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like you're thinking about this towards somebody who's never done this before. You know what I'm saying? Or never been surrounded in terms of conversation. Should I say? We don't know what he's done, definitively.
Yeah.
But
you have, like I said, you have two different types of people. You have people who are hurt and they don't care who they hurt because they've been hurt.
Right.
And then you have those type of people who, realize that they've been hurt. They don't want to hurt anyone else. So they move to make some changes. But it's those ones who move to make the change that we have to say, okay, he's changing.
Right.
She's changing. Let's let them do that. We're not going to hold them to their past because they're trying to get away from it.
Right.
So I mean, let it go. Like Erykah Badu said, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go.
I got
That's it. That's all I got.
All
let it go. Leave them people alone. Let them heal if they're trying to heal.
That's good stuff.
It's like a sore, right? When you cut
Band-Aid,
yourself,
rip it off, right?
No, the sore, when you cut yourself right, you get a scab on it. You can't, they say don't pluck the scab because the scab is there so that what's underneath can heal.
Right.
When it's healed, the scab, it falls off.
Right.
Leave them alone.
And people who are judging people by way of their behavior when they're sincerely trying to change is like that person that's snatching the Band-Aid off before it totally heals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like I said, they want to be extended the same leverage granted as them. So
let these people heal. Let them heal. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
So what would you title the title of your What's Bothering Nikee?
Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
All right.
That's it.
I like it.
Let it go. That's all I got.
Right.
That's all I got.
We're gonna take
That's it. So you know what? We're going to take a break, and when we come back, it's going to be time for my favorite part of the show, Kevin's Corner.
The insecurity, when you gonna take your hands off me? When you ever gonna let me be proud of who I am? Oh, insecurity, when you gonna take your hands off me? When you ever gonna let me be just the way I am? Dear insecurity,
I hate the way you make me feel. I hate the things you make me think. You make me sick to my stomach. I wish that I wasn't me. Some days when I wake up, I see myself in the mirror. I feel like what shouldn't be couldn't be clearer. My nose to my clothes, from my chin to my skin. I'll never be good enough ever again for you, so I changed for you. Then I died for you, then you made me blue. If I were you, I'd hate me too. but I already feel like you do. Because you tell me I'm not worth, and the bad luck's on purpose. And if I'm sad, then I deserve it. But underneath the surface, I'm hurting, searching, and learning. My imperfections make me perfect.
Dear insecurity, when you gonna take your hands off me? When you ever gonna let me be proud of who I am? Oh, insecurity, when you gonna take your hands off me? When you ever gonna let me be just the way I am? Dear insecurity,
I feel like I'm dying on the inside, but I smile it off. I'm a mess, I'm depressed, I'm alone, and it's all my fault. Did I do something wrong? This feeling's unfair. You're making me anxious, but why do I care? I overthink everything till my thoughts are impaired. I hate everything about me, I think I need some air. Drink some water, take a breath, take a moment to be thankful for the reasons that you're blessed. It's not about mistakes you made or failures that you had. It's all about the memories and little things you have. Your freckles and flaws to your body and bruises, your scars to your beautiful birthmarks. The truth is we're one and the same, so play the cards that you're dealt. Nobody likes you more than when you're being
dear
yourself.
insecurity, when you gonna take your hands off me? When you ever gonna let me be proud of who I am? Oh, insecurity, when you gonna take your hands off me? When you ever gonna let me be just the way I am? Dear insecurity,
I am proud of the person who I am. Nobody's gonna tell me who I am or who I can be. I am taking my life into my hands. So tired of hiding who I am. I am me. So, dear insecurity, when you gonna take your hands off me? When you ever gonna let me be proud of who I am? Oh, insecurity, it's time I make you take your hands off me. Set me free, I'm gonna let you see I'm proud of who I am, just the way I am. I'm proud of who I am.
He said, listen,
Yeah.
dear insecurity, why do I care? I like that. I like that.
It's a powerful song. Powerful song.
That is a powerful song.
Yeah, powerful song. Triumphant ending. Yeah, definitely a powerful song.
Wow.
Yeah, very touching. Very touching, very informative. And as they say, man, he said a mouthful, didn't he?
He sure did.
Yeah.
He said a mouthful.
Mm-hmm.
But it's songs like that though that makes a lot of sense.
That's right.
Makes a lot of sense. And I don't know where these songs are hiding, but I'm glad, for our series, we're bringing them all out.
Yeah. That's awesome.
All right. So now it's time for my favorite part of the show. Kevin's Corner.
All right. We in part 2, week 2 of our series. We on our Delaware Shore, man.
Yeah.
Dealing with that theme. Hurt people, hurt people.
Hurt people,
so
hurt
we did that series, and now we're on the second part of our series dealing with insecurities. You heard the song, and pretty much was self-explanatory. And so last week we talked about that critical inner voice, and we're going to kind of reiterate some of that today. So there is an internal dialogue that accompanies our feelings of insecurity. This is called the critical inner voice. And Dr. Lisa Firestone, who co-authored the book, Conquer Your Critical Inner Voice, wrote, the critical inner voice is formed out of a painful early life experience in which we witness or experience hurtful attitudes towards us or those close to us. And as we grow up, we unconsciously adopt and integrate this pattern of destructive thoughts towards ourselves first and then others. So what events or attitudes shape this inner critic? The experiences we have had early in life can be the root of our insecurities as adults. And so this week we're going to deal with insecurities at work.
Nice.
All right. So insecurity can affect us in countless areas of our lives. Every person will notice their inner critic being more vocal in one area or another. For example, you may feel pretty confident at work, but completely lost in your relationship or vice versa. You may even notice that when one area improves, the other deteriorates. Most of us can relate at one time or another to having self-sabotaging thoughts. So we got not just the enemy of our inner critical voice, but then we got our self-sabotaging thoughts. And there was a parable in the Bible that says, so whatever a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Or can be also stated, so whatever man thinketh is in his heart, so is his behavior. So your thoughts, our thoughts, negative or positive, is going to produce negative or positive emotions. And the combination of our negative and positive thoughts and emotions is going to produce negative or positive behavior. The pit stop between our thoughts and our emotions is our mouth. Because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth going to do something. It's going to speak. So when you hear somebody speaking negatively, whether it's about themselves or others, it's because they have negative thoughts about themselves and then others, negative emotions towards themselves and then others, and then of course negative behaviors towards themselves and then others. And depression is anger turned on self. Somewhere we blamed ourselves for a failure or something that didn't work out. Children are notorious for doing this. It's called transference. Children tend to blame themselves for the reasons why things that were out of their control happen. But it's called self-sabotaging thoughts towards ourselves about, and as we're talking about today, our career. So old feelings that, we were incompetent, that we will never be acknowledged or appreciated, can send our insecurities through the roof. Some common critical inner voices about our careers could be, you don't know what you're doing. Why do they expect you to do everything yourself? Why do you think you are? Or who do you think you are? You'll never be successful. You're under too much pressure. You can't take it. You never get everything done. You're so lazy. You should just put this off until tomorrow. No one appreciates you. You better be perfect or you'll get fired. Nobody likes you here. Put your career first. Don't take time for yourself. When are you ever going to get a real job? No one will hire you. And these are all those things that we face in the workplace, because maybe perhaps when we were playing Little League or, maybe we were with the Girl Scouts, somebody made us feel a negative way. And we took hold of that negative way that they made us feel. That negative inner coach called the negative critical inner voice got a hold of self-sabotaging thoughts, and it produced insecurities. And so the goal is to acknowledge, confront, and to conquer, because we can't conquer what we don't confront. We don't have to feel incompetent. We can feel like, yes, you are great. You are handsome. You're pretty. You are competent. You are tough. You can take it. You can withstand it. You can achieve it. These are the type of thoughts that we need to continue to rehearse within ourselves. And when we get that epiphany, is that and only when our lives are going to change.
Nice.
Be encouraged.
Nice.
You're wonderful. You're great. You're talented. You can do it. In spite of what the coach said, despite maybe what an aunt or uncle said, maybe perhaps what mom or dad might have said. Maybe it was a teacher that you looked up to that said you wasn't smart enough. It's time to revisit the thinking, deal with it, and let's get rid of it. And let's walk in who we are. And that is understanding that you are the greatest thing that God ever created. Not in a prideful way, but in a knowing my self-worth and my self-value way. Be encouraged.
Love
That's it.
Love it. Nice. That was good. See,
and sometimes when those thoughts come in, you gotta address them right away, in your mind.
Yes, you do.
You know what I mean? You gotta address them right away, right in your mind. And awareness does that. And what we're trying to do is bring about awareness so that people can understand their self-worth, their self-value, and because you can be accomplished at things in life and have the lowest self-esteem.
Yeah.
And it's when the self-esteem, that healthy self-esteem goes with how accomplished you are. It makes it all the more better. Like I feel like I'm the greatest thing that God created apart from any of my accomplishments. Just me as Kevin, the person who strives to be a good family member, a good friend. Yeah. You know, just that area. Then when you want to throw in basketball and throw in acting and all that writing and all that stuff, that's the cherry on top. You see what I'm saying? And so that brings me, you know, to something else. We got to make sure that we're not using our accomplishment to fill holes in our lives either. You know what I'm saying? So because what happens if that thing that we're using to fill holes in our lives it goes wrong. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And then we get shattered. But when we can know that we have worth and value without our accomplishments or with them, that's when we know we're doing good. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Nice. Well, yeah, that's it.
Put it out there.
All right. First, I want to just thank everybody for just tuning in each week, showing your love and your support for the Kevin and Nikee show and for Nikee and I on our acting journey. We do for you. We can't do what we do without you. And we appreciate every last single one of you. Yes. So we say from the top, middle, and bottom of our hearts, thank you so much. And, you know, we stepped into something that we never would thought would be in the same title of our names. And we're just enjoying this journey and, you know, hoping that others are enjoying it as we go. Yeah. But I'm actor Kevin D. Benton. You can follow me on Facebook, actor Kevin D. Benton, on Twitter at Kevin D. Benton. You can find me on YouTube and actress Nikee Warren on YouTube. You can find that trailer of The Right Path on actress Nikee Warren on YouTube, actor Kevin D. Benton on YouTube. Check us out. We're always uploading. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I uploaded my stunt video.
You did?
Yeah, I uploaded my stunt video. In the making of that stunt.
Check this stunt video out, you guys. Yeah. This thing is fire. I'm telling you.
And I didn't get hurt. I didn't get hurt.
He didn't get hurt. And, now, he took that fall. You took that fall a couple of times.
About eight times.
Because they wanted to, they kept doing it over and over and over again just because they wanted to do it.
Right. And I had to put my suit in the cleaners after that.
Not because he was doing it wrong. They wanted to do it over and over and over again to see him do it.
Right. I got a stunt credit for that, John, too. I dirtied my suit up, but I got a stunt credit, but it was a lot of fun. So yeah, check us out, man. Follow us, hit us up, subscribe to our YouTube channels. We greatly appreciate it. We'll subscribe back.
Yes, we will. Put it out there. Okay. I'm Nikee Warren on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter at Nikee Warren, and on the gram, that's hello. I'm Nikee, that's spelled HELLOIMNIKEE. On the gram. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns regarding our show, hit us up, the Kevin and Nikee show at yahoo.com. You got some questions for Jason
Maga. Yeah.
Hit us up. The Kevin and Nikee show at yahoo.com. We will get the answer, read the question to him, get the answer, and read it back on the show with your answers. And like I said, who knows? Your letter can be featured on our show.
Yeah, it can. Yep.
Now, get that address out one more again. Get that address out. Listen, guys. You still got time.
That's right.
You still got time until
the 31st
to check out the awesome, multi-award-winning feature film, Delaware Shore. Okay, you still have time. It's at the Penn Cinema Riverfront. That's 401 South Madison Street, Wilmington, Delaware 19801. And get your tickets.
Yeah, we gonna have to
302-656-4314. Listen, I'm telling you. This is a film that you definitely want to see, because Kevin's Corner is all about her people, and trying to help get some healing from those who are in pain. When you see the movie, go see the movie. I guarantee you. You're listening to our show, go see the movie. You're like, yeah, Kev was right. Yeah, Kev and Nikee, they were right. Yeah, definitely some pain up in that joint. I'm telling you right now. Definitely.
Yeah,
so get your tickets. Go out to Delaware, see Delaware Shore. I guarantee you will not regret it.
And you won't be the same walking out of there.
You will not, because it will make you have you doing some introspection, like we always say on our show, looking at yourself. Well, you know what? I got to make some changes.
Right, I got to make some changes. Because, you know, and the sad part about it is we don't have to walk around with a sad existence, depressed existence, a below the bar in our thinking and our living existence, no matter what our lives entail. Mm-hmm. And this introspective movie is going to touch on that. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And then on top of that, it's too many free resources out here to get help. Agnes in the movie she didn't have nowhere to go to get counseling. Right. On Florida Beach in Delaware. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's so you can go to a deacon in a church and talk to somebody for free. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? It's so many resources out here. There's so many programs out here. But the big step is just acknowledging, and then going to get the help you need. We all need somebody to talk to. Yeah. And, you know, it's been traditionally stated that crazy people go to counseling. That is so far from the truth. You're not supposed to use that word in psychology. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to say mentally ill, mentally challenged, that stuff like that. And then they're trying to get rid of some of those terms to make them a little bit more friendly, as well. Yeah. But for lack of a better phrase, crazy people, I just broke a rule, they don't go to counseling. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for a person that goes to counseling and says, Doc, am I crazy? The psychologist is going to tell you the fact that you came and you're asking says you're not. So if you go to counseling, you're on safe ground. That's how you know you're not. Mm-hmm. You know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's deep. Yeah. It's deep. And you're going to truly love it. You're going to truly love it. Get the help that you need. Yes. And get the help you need. And and there's a thing called blindedness where people are just blinded to themselves. Mm-hmm. If everybody's moving away from you, everybody's not the problem. Mm-hmm. It's a good chance it could be you. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. You know what I'm saying? You know what? That's all I got. Not y'all, but I'm you as in stating. Not our listeners. Not our listeners. Just you as in general. You know what? Yeah. That's all I got. That's all we got. We're the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeart Radio. We are everywhere. And we're out of here. Peace.
Welcome to your life.
have been listening to the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio. We're all over the world. Do, 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 do.